An angel and a demon, side by side. How did it come to this? It's no time for second guessing.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Show. Today we are talking about another video game. This time it is the turn of God's Trigger. This is the PlayStation 4 code that I'm playing, and it's a game from Techland. The developer, better known or best known for their work with the Dying Light franchise. They refer to themselves as a AAA, and this certainly isn't a AAA game. In a lot of ways, it's like Ubisoft, and they have their sort of their wing where they do indie games, and it's through that wing, in the case of Ubisoft, where they develop one of the best games that has the Ubisoft name on it for a long time, in both Child of Light and Valiant Hearts. This is Techland's it's Techland's endeavour to make smaller games. You know, Dying Light, the latest Dying Light is into production, and this is a smaller, more pop in and play game than that will be eventually. Looking at it, the first thing that will plumb to your head, that'll jump to your head, will be the phrase Hotline Miami. It's there. There's no point in ignoring it or overlooking it, because that's just the way it is. And that bugs me, to be honest, because this sort of game it's not new. Hotline Miami was far from the first company who ever developed a top-down shooter. All they really did, I mean, it was a great game, don't get me wrong, the first one anyway, but all they really did was stylize it and plumb Bandcamp for some cool electro. And it worked, it really did. Now, this game, God's Trigger, it has a similar sort of gameplay loop, but it's different in some key ways. For one, plot, very different. It's not about a guy collecting mass. I'm not going to even pretend to say what Hotline Miami is about, because I've not even come close to finishing it. We'll get into why that's relevant later. But the story here, you are basically either an angel, not from fallen, or a demon. Harry is the angel, Judy is the demon. You can play the game in co-op, so one person controls each character. I've played this in single player, and I think it was with Circle that you sort of swap between characters, and each character has their own set of skills which are relevant to a situation. So only Judy can jump through walls like that, and so on and so forth. And later on in this gameplay, I think it's Harry who can turn himself invisible to get past some laser guns. What's really interesting about it though is it's just the style of gameplay. I mean, Hotline Miami was successful. I hate to bring games up like that again, because it reduces the effort of the team involved here, and I think they deserve more credit than that. But the thing which really chimed about this style of game, shall we say, is the fact that it's so massively pick up and play. It's difficult, don't get me wrong, not as difficult as that other game that I keep on name checking and I'm bugging myself name checking it, but it's difficult enough where you have to learn the line, but at the same time it's going to punish you if you overlook a certain thing or don't do it particularly well. So it keeps you come back, and if you die you come back pretty much instantly. You can get different powers. Like I mentioned, invisibility, ability to phase through walls, you can pick up swords, you can pick up guns. It keeps things fresh, it keeps things interesting. And for me, it's a good game because I've got a detour on this a little bit. The modern AAA landscape, I don't like saying that Techland are part of that, because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of people are concerned, the AAA market has kind of become poisoned through avarice, and Techland are just making the games that they want to see, and this is sort of like a mash-up of, I hate referencing it over and over again, but Hotline Miami and Darksiders. It has that sort of approach to fantasy, And I'm saying that making that comparison is a very big compliment because I love both those games. But yes, AAA has become poisoned. It's become live services. You have to invest hundreds upon hundreds of hours into a game. And I think this is where games like this and more traditional indie, like completely free of studio interaction, have their place. Because this isn't an expensive game. It isn't a long game. In campaign, you can play it single player, you can play it co-op, and you'll be done in, as the press release and the statements around the game have said, around 8 hours. But I'm guessing that's 8 hours for a competent player, as you can tell from the gameplay here, which is the first 2 levels. I'm not especially competent at this sort of thing. But yes, it's a game which you can sort of just throw on. There's no pretensions for it to be anything which it isn't. Yes, it's like certain other titles, but so what at the end of the day? Everything is derivative of something else, and to only have a memory as long as the thing which was popular, the last game that did it and it was popular with it, is awfully shallow, because this game is from an era of gaming, let's say Mega Drive, or I think it was the Sega Genesis, what it was called in America. That's my origin in games, that's where I came from. And let's say Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage was very popular, very, very popular. Love that game and games like it. But did that stop well, not maybe hundreds, did that stop countless other developers ripping it off? The very foundation of video games, modern video games, is built on people seeing something that they like and doing the same thing but putting their own spin in it. So this is a fairly legitimate inheritor of that spirit. It's taking the ball from what somebody else did and putting their own spin in it, and the spin is the interesting thing. The spin of angels, of demons, of superpowers. I mean, superpowers beyond sort of dogs not being able to see you. It keeps this sort of game very, very interesting. I like what Techland are doing, but yes, this is the sort of thing I like, where, I mean, admittedly Ubisoft do it, and I think Ubisoft aren't the best example to cite in a game that you like, but Ubisoft are putting out some of their best stuff through their indie wings. And these big companies taking risks on games which wouldn't make it wouldn't sell millions of units, put out through digital channels, trying something new in digital channels, and Techland are getting better at this. This is a game which I really, really enjoy. So it has like little touches beyond the superpowers, beyond the co-op, beyond the Switch players. You level up. Like here at the end of the level, you have certain qualities that you can put in, and again, like this sort of game, like Trials, like that one that I keep on referencing, that I'm annoying myself, I keep on referencing, you can get a better high score. This is early gaming, well, not early gaming, this is sort of, well, early-ish, sort of Mega Drive, SNES, that sort of gaming, where you go in, you can spend a few hours, you can get the highest score possible, and you can go out. And in this age where people are generally getting burnt out from games being way too long, I feel like the time is right for this sort of thing. And if you just want to put in a game and enjoy it for a few hours, I can't think of anything I could recommend more that's out right now. And that is God's Trigger, and I played the PlayStation 4 copy. And if you like this video, please subscribe, comment below, and we will see you next time. And the video will keep on going on for a bit, so some unvarnished gameplay of me not yammering over it, and you can just enjoy what the game has to offer, including its very interesting score, which I didn't remark on. But yeah, it's some nice, different, not synthwave, electronica. I'll see you next time.
I need to work on my emergency landing.
An angel without wings?
Watch your tongue. Here, everyone.
We'll exchange pleasantries later.
attacking humans.
That's Pestilence, one of the Horsemen.
Against me.
Damn it!
The Four Horsemen send their regards! Run, demon!